Here are 5 things to avoid in an uncontested divorce. Number 1 is not planning for your future. That includes finances. Now you're going to be going through a lot of changes, and that's going to include changes perhaps in your income and certainly in your expenses. All of a sudden, a 2-income household is now a 1-income household. So you want to try to plan for that if at all possible. The other thing is you want to focus on your living situation. Are you going to have to move out of where you currently reside, or perhaps your spouse is? In any case, that can cause a great deal of stress as well, and something that you'll need to think about. Another thing to plan for is health insurance. If you're currently being covered by somebody else's insurance, you'll want to make sure that you're either on their health insurance after the divorce, or that you have health insurance in place for yourself, standing alone. The second thing you want to avoid during an uncontested divorce is being too demanding during your negotiations. Now, with an uncontested divorce, you and your spouse are agreeing to everything so that you have to come to a full agreement on all of the issues. You don't want to be locked into any particular position. Sure, there are some things that you're very adamant about that you want to keep or you want to have in place. But don't be so demanding that it causes the other person to lash back and then the whole thing falls apart. So you do want to be flexible. The third thing you want to avoid in an uncontested divorce is being too easy. That is, you don't want to give up too much. Now this is the flip side of the last issue of being too inflexible. Here, you want to be flexible, but you want to protect your rights as well. So if there are any issues you feel particularly strong on, make sure that you voice your opinion and stand firm on those issues, because you must live with the separation agreement going forward. So don't box yourself into anything where you'd be unhappy with the outcome. If you are considering a divorce, please feel free to visit us at affordlaw.org/checklist. We have a fuller explanation of the issues that you should be considering before you even file for that divorce. The fourth thing that you want to avoid during an uncontested divorce is excessive use of social media. Social media is part of the fabric of our society these days. We understand this. However, when you're going through a divorce, both you and your spouse can be exceedingly sensitive to any information that's shared with others, especially about the marriage, why it broke up, what your plans are for the future, and things along those lines. Just stay off it as much as possible, and whatever you do, don't post about the relationship itself. Your spouse will probably be looking, and even innocent posts can be misinterpreted. The fifth thing you want to avoid during your uncontested divorce is dating. It's not illegal, it's just not a very good idea. The reason being is that if you start a new relationship while your marriage is still in place, your spouse could very well have bad feelings about that, causing him or her to react negatively and therefore derailing the uncontested divorce, moving it from an uncontested divorce to a contested divorce. If it's contested, now it's going to be a lot longer, it's going to take much more money, and it's going to be more stressful for both of you. In addition, if there's somebody new in place, that person could be dragged into your divorce process, and that's something I'm sure he or she would not want to have happen. For more information about Massachusetts divorce, check out our next video.